Good morning, I'm Frank Buckley. The new chief of the LA City Fire Department sits down with KTLA to address the challenges he faces in his new role, what he's doing to move the agency forward after the Palisades fire coming up.
An alleged sexual assault near the campus of UCLA. I'm Lena Bovian. Coming up next, what students are saying about this incident.
I'm Eric Spielman. President Trump says he's canceling all meetings with Iranian officials until the government there stops killing protesters. I'll have the latest coming up.
Good morning. I'm Jessica Holmes. You're going to see plenty of Snoop Dogg during the Winter Olympics. We're going to tell you about the rap icon's cool new gig.
Hey there, everybody. Good morning. I'm Melvin Robert. Coming up, Mary Jo Buttafuoco joins us to tell us all about a brand new Lifetime movie told in her own words.
I just stepped outside of the studios here in Hollywood, and it's a beautiful, beautiful morning. Lots of sunshine. Things are warming up very nicely, and we're going to have in store. Coastal 73, Los Angeles downtown up to 78 in the San Fernando Valley. Still breezy in many parts of the South Island. Oregon Inland 79, 78 Inland Empire in the high desert up to 67 degrees. Frank, to you.
And to our developing news here, firefighters still on the scene and cleaning up in Winnetka what's left of a two-story structure fire that broke out earlier this morning. Part of the roof collapsed. The vacant building previously housed small businesses, offices, and repair shops. Fire started just after 5 this morning on Sherman Way near Winnetka and Oso Avenues. The LAFD deployed more than 100 firefighters to help knock down this fire. A woman was transported to the hospital due to smoke inhalation, is expected to be okay. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
UCLA police investigating an alleged sexual assault that happened at a fraternity over the weekend. KTLA's Lena Bovian live in Westwood with more. Lena, good morning.
Good morning. Well, this happened over the weekend, late on Sunday, Monday morning, and UCLA police, they are investigating. Unfortunately, at this point, they do not have suspect information. Now, take a look behind me. This is where it all went down. Over the weekend, the call coming in from the 600 block of Landfair Avenue. Initially, when they responded to this, the report had gone out that this was the 600 block of Gailey Avenue, but then later on that was corrected. Now, as far as what happened, we don't know the exact nature of this incident. It was reported as a rape, as a sexual assault. This is very close to the campus of UCLA. We're told a lot of frat houses are here. Now, as far as the victim goes, we know it is a female victim, or if this person was injured as a result of this incident. You guys all got the email?
Yeah. They get email like you guys know if other than where it happened, so it feels really scary to just like see it without knowing any other information and without being able to ask more.
Just no context behind it, so we don't really know how old the victim was, how old the suspect was. We don't know who we should be looking out for. Don't give details, I don't think.
As you just heard their students say, they have heard about this. They heard about it via email, but mostly upset that there is no suspect information at this time. I'm Lena Bovian reporting live here in Westwood, KTLA 5 News.
Well, thank you. President Trump is urging protesters to keep the pressure on the regime. The killing of protesters by the government forces there must stop. The president promising to help the demonstrators. KTLA's Eric Spielman in the newsroom with more on that. Eric, good morning.
Morning, Frank. Over the weekend, President Trump said Iranian officials wanted to sit down and meet with the U.S., and the president seemed open to the idea. While this morning, he has changed his mind, and in a social media post, he's ruling diplomacy for now. The president writes this: Iranian patriots, keep protesting. Take over your institutions. Save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. I have canceled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killing of protesters. Help is on the way. The president says countries that do business with Iran will face a 25% tariff on whatever they sell in the U.S. He will hold a meeting with military advisors today. Reports he's considering several options. They include another strike against Iran's nuclear program, a cyber attack against the country, or an attack on Iran's domestic security apparatus, which is responsible for the regime's brutal crackdown against protesters. The demonstrations in Iran started more than 2 weeks ago. At first, it was about the collapse of the country's currency. Now protesters are calling for the overthrow of Iran's leaders, and the government has responded with force. I want to show you some pictures now that show all the body bags piled up at a morgue in Tehran. Eyewitnesses say government forces have opened fire indiscriminately on unarmed protesters with automatic weapons. By some estimates, more than 2,000 people have been killed. Another 10,000 have been arrested. President Trump has said that repression needs to stop.
He certainly wants there to be recognition that the government of Iran should not murder its own people, should not injure them and hurt them because they're protesting. They have a right to protest, and they're protesting about legitimate things.
In Iran's capital last night, large crowds of anti-government protesters gathered on the streets. New video just into our newsroom this morning shows people throwing Molotov cocktails at a television building in the city of Isfahan. And in other parts of Iran, demonstrators clashed with security forces in riot gear. Internet service within the country is still down, but for the first time in days, the government is allowing people to make phone calls abroad. It's still not possible for anyone outside the country to call somebody inside. Now, over the years, there have been large-scale mass protests within Iran, but the authoritarian Islamic government there has always survived. Iran's Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi believes this time things may be different. Pahlavi has been encouraging people in Iran to flood the streets, and he says many have been killed by government forces.
They are using military equipment from armored tanks to AK-47 to shoot demonstrators to death. It's a massacre that the regime is, as a last gasp effort, trying to use to intimidate people.
The Crown Prince is the son of the former Shah of Iran, who was forced to leave the country during the 1979 revolution. The government, Crown Prince has said he would lead during a transition to democracy. He has spent the last 50 years living in exile here in the U.S. Jessica?
Okay, Eric, we thank you for that this morning. Well, inflation held steady in the month of December.
Labor Department released the final figures for 2025. It's having an impact on the stock market this morning. KTLA's David Lazarus here to break it down. Laz, good morning.
Good morning, guys. And indeed, inflation holding steady last month on an annual basis, running at 2.7%. That's considerably higher than the Fed's target rate of 2%. But let's crunch the numbers a little bit. Economists say that one key takeaway from today's consumer price index is that many businesses appear to be still swallowing the higher costs of Trump's import taxes, whether because they're trying to cut customers a break or because they fear the wrath of this most wrathful of presidents. Another key takeaway is that food keeps getting more expensive. Food prices were up last month. 0.% ago on an annual basis. On a monthly basis, food prices were up 0.7% from November. If that doesn't sound like a lot, that is in fact the largest one-month increase since 2022. Meat prices, well, they were particularly higher, up nearly 4% from a year ago. Beyond the groceries, electricity prices up nearly 7%. That's a big jump, thank you, AI. And rents right about 3%. You stir all that together, and affordability remains an issue for people.
And you're saying thanks AI because of the data centers that are sucking electricity?
Precisely. The data centers are indeed taking so much energy out of the grid that consumers are subsidizing much of their use. And we're going to get into that in the 1 o'clock hour.
All right.
Thanks, David. Another volcanic eruption from Hawaii's Kilauea volcano. It sent lava soaring over 8 feet into the sky for several hours yesterday. The 30th episode of the current active period. I'm going to take a live look now at the volcano, and you can see this latest eruption. They're saying it's over, so we're just seeing some smoke coming from that crater at the moment.
got to get there. I want to see
all an eruption like that. Yeah.
Amazing.
When I was in Costa Rica, the volcanoes weren't too far away from one of the hotels, rivers and lakes, which were naturally heated because the water would flow the rocks, and you would pool, and you couldn't see the volcano really, but the sky was always glowing gray. Over the entire house. It was a great experience, that's for sure. Hey, good morning. Here we go with a great experience as far as the weather goes here in Southern California. We're back to the Mount Wilson shot. Windy there whatsoever, but various areas in the valley, inland, still getting some of those winds, but they are down. 69 right now, 5 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. Winds from the northwest at about 3 miles per hour. Back yesterday, 78 is the average, and 88, that was the record set in 2009. We're not going to be hitting any records, I don't think, but we're going to be on the wind advisory until tomorrow, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Here you see the future forecast. It kind of lights up a little right here just outside of Santa Clarita. That's some stronger winds, bam, right there, picking up. And also out in the desert areas, in the upper desert areas, could see some stronger winds. Daytime highs for today, 76 in Santa Monica, Van Nuys at 80, El Monte 79, Chino 79, same thing in Riverside, Palm Springs 81, Temecula with the daytime high 80. Ventura County Inland 79, 81 and 80, and then heading into the weekend 79, 74 on Monday, 72 degrees. Santa Clarita Valley 75, 79, 78. Sunday, 74, Monday, 73 degrees. So just great weather. No rain in the weather forecast whatsoever for the next 7 days. In even downtown Los Angeles, hitting 80 degrees. 68 is normal for this time of the year. Overnight low is getting a little chilly, too. Those temperatures drop down into the 50s right here in the inland. That's not actually too bad. But your daytime highs, 80 and 81 degrees. Frank and Jessica, back to you.
Mark, thank you. Coming up, the new LA fire chief explains edits to the Palisades after action report.
Also, the U.S. Supreme Court hearing 2 cases today regarding transgender athletes.